I'm actually a former member of a teacher union contract negotiating team. I've also been a schools administrator and a board member on the other side of the table, actually in 2 school boards. I was the student member of the Montgomery County, Maryland Board of Education years and years ago. So, like Ruben Harris, I've stood on both sides of this question. And I will tell you that I am not a supporter of Senate Bill 5 for many of the same reasons that some of the other people articulated. There's a lot of overreach, there's a lot of agenda that has nothing to do with trying to come up with real solutions. And I am also, we have to be very careful about performance pay. The legislators in several states have now passed laws that say 50% of teacher evaluations have to be based on student growth. Well, only 1 in 4 students, teachers, actually are even connected to these standardized tests that students are given. So whether or not you think those are good measures, they only touch 1 out of 4 teachers. So we have absolutely no idea how to consistently and fairly measure the things that are now written into state law in lots of states. I'm confident Senate Bill 5 will get repealed. We'll get a chance to watch what Idaho and Colorado and Florida and Michigan are going to stumble through. And I do believe that we need to talk about performance. We need to talk about skills. We need to talk about a number of things. Senate Bill 5 is the wrong way to go about it. I think, frankly, the processes we have in this district are the right way. Our teachers' union signed on to the Race to the Top initiative. There are conversations going on between our administration and our teachers' union about how to do this in a way that makes sense. And I think that's the right place for us to have that conversation. Yeah.
Our family moved here in 1960. So I went to Ludlow, I went to Woodbury, and I graduated from Shaker. I also have a daughter here at high school. But one thing that I can say, as my parents raised us in the Shaker school system, and as a parent myself who has raised their daughter from kindergarten in the Shaker School District, the school board was always appeared to be a group of good old boy people who were unapproachable. I really didn't know exactly what it was the school board did, but I knew they existed, but they weren't very welcoming. They weren't very, they didn't outreach to the community at all, and try to get feedback and put their ear to the pulse of what the needs were for the parents and the students in the community. To me, there's still some closed door policy, closed door situations in reference to the school board. The meetings are dialogue amongst yourselves. There really isn't an opportunity for decisions for the community to be heard. So my question to you is this: are you open, if you were a school board member, elected as a school board member, are you open to actually having town hall meetings, reaching out to the community, actually listening to parents before you guys make decisions and have the votes amongst yourselves, to really be concerned about what it is that the Shaker community is needing? Because there is rumor that Shaker is about to be another Cleveland Public School.
Well, having worked in the Cleveland Public Schools, I can assure you Shaker is not about to be another.
Well, I'm saying it's a rumor that it's starting to have characteristics.
Yeah, no,
of the Cleveland Public School.
well,
One that has bad history of that.
in statistical terms, we're a very bimodal community. And more specifically, we've got a large number of very well educated, often very wealthy, but not necessarily connected families, and we have a lot of families who are struggling, simply to be in the city. I met with one of the assistant principals a couple years ago, and we were talking about a kid that had come to the point where the school couldn't get any kind of interaction with the mother, and finally sent a letter of expulsion due to non-attendance to kind of force the issue. And finally the mom came, and they found out what was going on. She had 4 kids the oldest, this 9th grader, was responsible for getting the 3 siblings off to school every morning because she had 3 jobs, and one of them was the night shift job. And she was fiercely proud, fiercely independent. She was doing all of this so that her kids could go to the Shaker schools, and in her mind, she was doing her job. And you know, no one can fault the effort and energy she put into it. And the painful reality is for her kids to be successful in Shaker, that's just the beginning. And so the conversation that the assistant principal and others ended up having with her was, what are your other support mechanisms? Who else can help? How can we help? And I think that we've got a lot of kids like that in the system. And you know, you walk these halls, you know. And they come to a school, you know, many of the kids who struggle at the high school have not been with us since the beginning. And they get here and, you know, and by the way, high school grading policies are designed to filter kids out, right? You get a grade at the end of the semester that goes in your permanent record, regardless of how ready you were for that. Then there's not a do-over. And, you know, if you struggle through with a 1.0 in 9th grade, your whole trajectory through high school is different. Your whole expectation of where you're going is different. I think we need to rethink some of how we do the grading process. We shouldn't be sorting kids where we don't need to sort. We need to be figuring out how to challenge them, give them second and third chances, but to very high expectations. I thought you were going to ask me about, you know, what the problems in the community are. You know, I got a chance to walk with.
You know, you never really answered my question.
I'm sorry.
I asked, are you open to town hall?
Yes, I'm sorry. You're right. I got distracted. I apologize. Yes, and in fact, all 4 candidates at this meeting 2 years ago said they were too. And the fact that we haven't done them yet as a board is something that we do a lot of hand-wringing about. But as I said earlier, well, and I think finally we've got an agreement, and a couple of our colleagues have been reaching out to organizations in the community saying, we are available to come and talk and to be part of conversations. And I'll say right now, I will go to any group that invites me. You know, we did do the initiative inquiry process, which got 900 people talking on some level about the schools. But I agree with you. I think there's a lot more to do there. And I think, you know, if you're a student of Kabuki theater, we've made changes in the last couple of years. Whether they're significant enough to be recognized in the community, you know, I think varies depending on who you are. But yes, I support. I want us to do more outreach.
Thank you. I'm sorry.
I'm out of time? I'm sorry. I brought my petition. I'll go and back, and I won't file it unless I'm endorsed by the committee, but if you're willing to put your name on it, if I am endorsed, that'll save me some time and effort, and I appreciate it.